It was amazing just to get a chance to play in front of this crowd after 355 days. I've been counting the days. It was just surreal. Remember just praying in my bedroom last night, just crying about all the trials that I've been going through, and just realizing that the day is actually here. Like I'm actually playing there. Feel like it was just a miracle for me to even be out there. I don't know if this is public, but I was not supposed to be back this early. But God just blessed me another time and just made my body strong really fast and made me come back from injury that nobody ever done. So
John, how'd you keep your hopes up through the last year?
I just used my faith and my girlfriend and just an amazing coaching staff because I didn't want to listen to anything negative about my injury. I will only take in like positive energy, things like you're gonna play this year. You're not gonna stay out for 2 years. You're gonna be back for practice. You're gonna get better next week. I was always like thinking about positive stuff and just thinking about getting better every day.
Jalen, I know you weren't here with him last year, but what's it been like being around him? What did it mean for him to be back on the court with this team today?
I feel like it's everything. Ever since the summer, he's our hardest worker. He's in the gym almost all day. Every time I come in the gym, I see John. So, he's a huge part of our team. Even when he wasn't playing, he was leading. He was our best leader, and now just to have him out there with us, it's everything. He's the heart of our team.
Jalen, it seemed like everybody's defense picked up when he was out there too. I mean, obviously everybody knows how he plays, but it seemed like y'all's defense picked up a notch too.
Yeah, it's just he's out there. He's vocal. He's talking to everybody. He's not just worried about guarding his own man. He's the anchor of our defense, so it helps a lot when he's out there.
John, how many surgeries did you have?
I had two surgery. First one fixed different ligaments, and second one have surgery.
John, kind of describe those emotions as you heard your name over the PA and checked in for that first time with about 13 minutes remaining. I mean, is that surreal?
To be honest with you, I don't think I've heard my name because the gym was just so loud. Like from the time the coach told me to get in, like everything was just so loud. I couldn't hear anything. It felt unreal at that moment. And I was just thanking God for just being able to put me in that position and just give me this platform.
How about when you hit that first three? What was that feeling like?
It was fun. It was fun, but we believe in same old boy habits. He had Baylor, and I just felt like it was just another shot that I've been working on. I feel like God allowed me to have extra time to work on my game, and I used it. And I feel like his work is just paying off.
Jalen, as far as this game, second half, you seem to kind of get going, and it's like Mark Adams just said, Tech, once you guys got on a roll, it's hard to shut you guys down in the second half.
Yeah, it was a close game at halftime, and we came out. We wanted to get some stops defensively, and the culture of joy really showed. We were sharing the ball. We weren't really worried about ourselves. We were making good passes to open cutters and getting one-mores for threes. We were out there gelling. So when it gets like that, it's hard to stop.
John, it's a big welcome back game for you, but how are you able to put those emotions aside and still have a great game?
It's funny because I really tried to just take in the emotions the day before. Thought about it, prayed about it, thank God for it. And at the end of the day, I just end up going with my only one routine, praying before the game, right after the warm-up, and reminding myself that I only play for an audience of one. And just be able to be out there and just showcase into the world that the Lord is able to make a miracle, is able to make our life perfect. We're nothing without him, and that was how I felt about it, and just gave me that calmness of being able to play knowing that I'm solid.
You've warmed up several games. You've been out there quite a bit. What made today the day? What made this the right time to play?
I've prayed about it a lot. I've had a lot of mental battles with these type of injuries because at the end of the day, I'm pretty sure you can tell I'm not the same player. Like nobody would expect me to be the same player. I had some mental battle in a way where I was thinking about maybe I'm not good enough because I was comparing myself with my old self, but at the end of the day, I'm a different player. At the end of the day, I came back from a really bad injury. I'm using a brace that helps lift my foot, so I'm a different player. And it took me so much time to just embrace that and just move on and just pray about it. Pray to God, ask Him about just to help me, show me like what should be the right decision to make, when should I go out there. And the closer I was getting to this day, the more excited I felt about it, the more excited I felt about just be able to go out there, and I knew it was the right decision.
So now that you've gotten back on the court, now that you've gotten into the game, what do you hope for yourself the rest of the season?
Win more games.
Jalen, once you started kind of getting on a roll in this game, it seemed like you guys were unstoppable. What was that turning point there in the second half, do you think?
I feel like we came down. We got, I think, 1 or 2 kills, which is 3 stops in a row, and that leads to that. That's always going to lead to easy offense, and that's just kind of how it went.
John, is your knee feeling pretty good after the game now?
Yes, my knee feels great. The good thing about it, we've just got an amazing coaching staff and an amazing training staff. Great people around me who listen to me, listen to my body, and I really like the way they took this process the past 11 months, and I'm really just excited to see where we're going to go with that, but my knee feels great right now.
It looked like you had a brace on the sideline, then you took it off. Did you just feel like you didn't need one?
No, I didn't need one. I feel like I was warm enough.
Or?
John, what would you tell the fans that just showed you such an outpour of love, obviously when you checked in, things like that?
I would just thank them so much for being with me from day one until now, and just remind them that you can do anything in life with the Lord. He's able to just accomplish miracle. And me just even stepping on the floor, still play the game that I love, is just a miracle for itself. I see myself as a working miracle, as a proof that the Lord can affect your life in a better way.
Anything else?
Well, it's a special day. I want to thank God for just allowing Jonathan Chamwachachua to heal, and it's a miracle when the injury happened, and hearing the prognosis as things came in. As a coach and someone that loves John and works with him, you didn't know if he would ever walk, run, let alone play basketball. But one thing about John is his timetable is a little different than everyone else's, and his work ethic is a little bit different than everyone else's. And I know God's really blessed him with allowing him to be able to recover and get back to playing with the team. You can tell he makes a big impact on the court from just watching the energy, passion that he plays with. He is the reigning co-defensive player of the year, but during his year out, he spent a lot of time working on his skill. And I think it was a couple days after his injury, I looked down and said his morning workout, because obviously he just gotten injured. He's sitting in a chair with his leg out with the brace on, and he's doing form shooting 1 foot out with the GA rebounding. And he's just relentless. And he's such a special young man. And I can't thank Baylor family for giving him the warm welcome and recognition they did when he made those shots. It was special. And having him just in the huddles and engage with the team, it's just it's another level when you have somebody like John involved, because he's a grown man, and he's a great teammate and leader.
What made today the right day, the right game to come back?
Well, first it was his timetable, and doctors cleared him this week, and he'd been practicing with us, but as far as playing games, that was something that had to come from John and had to come from his doctor. And at the end of the day, I know from Dr. Gillum, Dr. Cooper, Dave Snyder, Kerry, I mean, all the people at Baylor, Charlie, our strength coach, I mean, everybody's poured into him. But why he's everyday John is because he does it on his own, and he does what he's supposed to do. And none of us wanted to push him to come back to play because, again, the mental side is just as important, if not more important, after you recover from an injury. And he'll continue to get better. And this was a 2-year process. And I would think the next couple years he will just continue to get better.
Scott, you're obviously the most optimistic guy anybody's ever known. Would you have thought-
Some days.
Would you have thought he'd be back?
No, I didn't think he'd be back this year, and I'm pretty optimistic in a lot of things. So I was just blown away, amazed November, December when he started doing more and more, and you're like, man, he looks pretty good. And then he starts practice, and you're like, he looks pretty good. and he's really helped in practice for Josh and Flo and for all the guards to block him out, to run the floor with him, to hear how he talks verbally, how vocal he is. I mean, he started doing more with the team after that 3-game losing streak, and I think that's part of the reason why we improved.
Scott, you talked to CJ yesterday and said you were hoping maybe get like 3 minutes at a time from John. I mean, you got 14 out of him tonight in several different minutes. Was that incredible to see too?
Well, we knew first he's warmed up before and hadn't played, so we wanted to make sure that after warm-ups he still wanted to play. And I knew we were going to bring him in after Flo and Josh. And from there, as a coach, the emotion, I mean, you know how quick you're going to get gassed and taxed, but John doesn't look like he ever gets tired, and you're like, he's playing pretty well. Do we have to take him out? So anyway, I couldn't be more pleased with the 14 minutes that he gave us. And obviously the big thing is the plus 18, because he hadn't gotten a lot of reps with the guys that are in the rotation and starting, because he's been on the other side of things. So speaks to his mental capacity to learn. We have a lot of new plays, new things in. I mean, think about it. People have been playing together since June, so he hasn't had that timing and feel with all these new guys, and we have so many new guys. So he did a tremendous job fitting in, not trying to do too much, and couldn't be more pleased and so glad that he hit those shots.
So what do you anticipate for him moving forward now that you've gotten him back? And kind of, do you have to protect him a little bit, or do you?
He's cleared to go, and I think we just build from here. And the toughest thing is there's not someone else like him in college basketball, and it's really a football injury, and there's just a couple football guys. So back-to-back days, Saturday, Monday games. I mean, a lot's going to depend on how he feels, and obviously we would make those changes based on that. But don't ever count John out.
Scott, you've seen it in the past, but it just looked like the defense picked up when he was out there. I mean, everybody else's defense raised up when he was out there.
Well, and that's one thing when we've had Davion Mitchell or Mark Vital, and they're out there and they're loud and they're aggressive. It's kind of like a pace car in the Indy 500. I mean, you go as fast as the pace car, and his aggressiveness and how loud he is vocal, just as it permeates, radiates. Very similar to, I mean, we had 26 assists. When people are sharing the ball, people just share the ball, and people take bad shots, or people tend to that passes on. So I think today defensively, when we went on that run in the second half and opened things up, I mean, our defense was as good as it's been all year for sure, and that led to one of the best offensive breakouts in conference play as I can remember in a minute.
Scott, is John your go-to 3-point shooter now?
Well, it does open things up for us, and that's something that I mean, we have confidence when he shoots. Like when certain people shoot, you think it goes in, and if it doesn't, you're like, doesn't matter. The next one is, and John's one of those guys.
Scott, at one point Jalen was plus 31 in like 26 minutes. How much of a luxury is that, just to have him on the court and essentially be a 30-point difference?
Yeah, well, I thought, I mean, so efficient today, 7 for 12. 8 rebounds. He had a couple big offensive rebounds. The only thing he didn't have was an assist, and he does move the ball. But Jalen's really the guys have done a great job in embracing him, and the more comfortable he's gotten, the more our guys are comfortable passing him the ball and finding him. It just makes the game that much easier for all of us. And when you have everybody spacing the floor, you shoot 54%, 42 from 3. That's elite offense.
How big is that rebound too coming off that Texas game where you said you guys just didn't get a lot of good shots? Today, you guys got a lot of good shots. Was that something you guys were excited?
I think our staff did a great job in film analysis. Our players did a great job embracing what we need to do better, and that's part of our recruiting process. Is we try to recruit people that we know we can coach and help, and they want to get better, and they want to be great teammates, and they want to be the best they can be. And because of that, doesn't guarantee every game's going to go well, but you don't want to lose multiple games in this league. And this is a league that if you don't have that confidence, you can drop 4 or 5 quick or 3 quick. And they're all one-possession games, most of them, and that's get a stop, you get a score, you have a great feeling. You don't get a stop, they get a score, you feel miserable. And I think, again, I always go back to it. It's like going to work. You do a great job at your job all week, but if you don't get the paycheck, you're like, and that's what winning does. It gives you that confidence, you know.
Coach, ever since John came to Baylor, you guys have typically run a 2-center rotation with 8 guys. Do you anticipate, since Ojimuna has gotten so much playing time, that he will still be in the rotation with the back?
Yeah, well, I think that's one thing that a good coaching staff always adjusts to their talent. And, I mean, we'll find a way to put the best rotation guys on the court. And if it's 2 bigs, if it's 5 guards, I mean, that's what I love about coaching is you got to adjust to your personnel. Obviously, with Josh, we haven't even had a full week, really, with him doing a ton of stuff with the starters and the rotation guys. So, I mean, it's going to take a little time, but that's the great thing about him coming back right now is you got 8 more conference games, you got the Big 12 tournament, and the goal is to peak at the end of the year, and the goal is to win the last game. So we got some time to figure things out.
Scott, you said it was a 2-year process. Is he eligible to come back, or what's?
Yeah, he is. He's eligible next year.
Is that the COVID year? Or
The COVID year. So he'll be like a lot of the other guys we play right now.
6th year guy?
Yeah, like Marcus Carr and Noel and all the others.
I'm sure the league loves that.
I like when there are 6-year guys.
Real quick, Scott, when he checked in for the first time, the whole bench, you yourself, I mean, just describe that moment and how much that meant to you guys.
Well, senior night's always a real emotional time, and this felt like a senior night, him checking in. Again, that's why I'm so appreciative for the fans that were here today and the Baylor family that recognized, I mean, all the countless days that and the struggles that he went through. I mean, on the lowest of his lows, I'm sure he wanted to know, will I ever be able to walk and run with my kids, you know? And now he's back out playing. And that's a miracle.